Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deaconess Elizabeth, and it is Friday, October the 21st, and I'm here again for your daily devotions. And today we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. We are in the book of Matthew, the 15th chapter, starting at the 21st verse. So if you'd like to follow along, you may turn there now. Leaving that place, Jesus withdrew to the region of Tyre and Sidon. A Canaanite woman from that vicinity came to him crying out, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is suffering terribly from demon possession." Jesus did not answer a word. So his disciples came to him and urged him, "Send her away, for she keeps crying out after us." He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel." The woman came and knelt before him. "Lord, help me," she said. He replied, "It is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to their dogs." "Yes, Lord," she said, "but even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus answered, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And her daughter was healed from that very hour. Jesus left there and went along the Sea of Galilee. Then he went up on a mountainside and sat down. Great crowds came to him, bringing the lame, the blind, the crippled, the mute, and many others, and laid them at his feet, and he healed them. The people were amazed when they saw the mute speaking, the crippled made well, the lame walking, and the blind seeing, and they praised the God of Israel. Jesus called his disciples to him and said, "I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, or they may collapse on the way." His disciples answered, "Where could we get enough bread in this remote place to feed such a crowd?" "How many loaves do you have?" Jesus asked. 7, they replied, "and a few small fish." He told the crowd to sit down on the ground, and then he took the 7 loaves and the fish, and when he had given thanks, he broke them and gave them to the disciples, and they in turn to the people. They all ate and were satisfied. Afterward, the disciples picked up 7 basketfuls of broken pieces that were left over. The number of those who ate was 4,000, besides women and children. After Jesus had sent the crowd away, he got in the boat and went to the vicinity of Magadan. All right, so that's our reading for today. So here at the beginning of this reading, we have the account of this Canaanite woman who is coming after Jesus and asking that Jesus have mercy on her and that he heal her daughter. Well, she's a Canaanite, first of all, which means she's a Gentile. So Jesus' response here at first is not what we would think. He, first of all, doesn't respond, and then when he does respond, he says that he came to save the lost sheep of Israel, mainly the Jews. His message was for the Jews. And he says it's not right to take the children's bread and toss it to their dogs. But in faith, she replies, "But even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." So she was a Gentile, but she'd heard about Jesus and had come to faith, and she only wanted a few breadcrumbs, and Jesus healed her daughter. And then we hear after this encounter, great crowds were following Jesus, bringing their sick with them that they might be healed. And the crowd had been with him for about 3 days now, and there was no food except for 7 loaves and a few fish. 7 loaves of bread and a few fish. And Jesus took them, gave thanks, broke them, and gave them to the disciples to distribute to the crowd of 4,000 men, but that number does not include women and children, so that crowd, you could probably guess, is probably about double. So he fed a great crowd of people who were following him, and they were wanting Jesus to heal them, and then Jesus sent them away shortly thereafter and continued on his way. So that is our reading for today, and our hymn is going to be hymn 892, "Come Ye Thankful People Come," and we're going to sing the first verse. Come ye thankful people, come, raise the song of harvest home, all be safely gathered in, ere the winter storms begin. God our Maker doth provide for our wants to be supplied. Come to God's own temple, come, raise the song of harvest home. And we'll conclude with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Well, thank you for joining me for today's daily devotions. My announcements will probably be similar to yesterday's announcements. Like I said, our Reformation service is coming up here shortly at the end of October the 30th, and so we should have some extra special music for that Sunday. Looking further ahead, again, for our youth who would like to participate in our Higher Things trip in the summer, which if you ask the youth who went last year, they'll say that they had a blast and they learned a lot. So early bird registration opens on November the 1st. So please be thinking about that so we can take advantage of that discount. And then also Christmas, like I said, is around the corner. We'll be putting together our Sunday School Christmas program here in the next couple of weeks. So if you will be in town for December the 18th and the Sundays before that, I encourage all of the youth in our congregation to be a part of this, as we have several dress-up roles, several reading lines, and opportunities to display your musical talent as well. So it's a good little Christmas program that we put on here at Holy Shepherd. Those are the announcements that I have for today, so I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Friday.